Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa and I'm a librarian here at the Bridgewater Public Library. And today this video is going to be about kind of indoor gardening and indoor plant. If you're someone like me, I love indoor houseplants and indoor gardening. It's very relaxing for me. And today I wanted to talk to you about this plant. Do a little close-up for you. This is a Peperomia Ferreyrae, otherwise commonly known as a string bean plant or green beans or happy bean plant or pincushion peperomia. This one looks very different from other peperomias you may be familiar with. Peperomias usually have more of a rounder leaf, and that's because this is a semi-succulent variety type. So the leaves and stem very much look more like a succulent, and the care of it is more of how you would care for a succulent. So let's see, when you first buy these plants, they're usually more compact, pretty green, more green like the tops here. This one you can see is kind of more lighter green, and that is because I've had this for a while. It has gotten a bit elongated and leggy, which that happens, and also because it's gotten a lot of sun and I haven't watered it in a while. So it's definitely needing to be repotted, so I'll talk a little bit about that. It's still in its nursery pot. It's a plastic nursery pot and has definitely outgrown it. Should have probably been repotted a while ago. And nursery plastic pots hold a lot of water, and these, because they're semi-succulent, they like to really air out, dry in between waterings, and be in a really well-draining soil. And so a terracotta pot would be a much better choice because this breathes more, dries out more, and so it's the better choice. So I'm definitely going to be repotting this guy today. Also, it's always good to have a drainage hole in your pot. That's super important. If your pot doesn't have a drainage hole, you could also put just some rocks in the bottom first and then the soil. The interesting thing about when you water this guy, I learned kind of in the beginning when I was watering it from the top, it didn't seem to like that. It definitely, you don't want to overwater this. So what I was doing was watering it from the bottom. How you do that is you just place the pot in a bowl of water and leave it for about, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, and then take it out, or until you can see that when you've done that, the soil at the top is damp. And it just seemed to really like to pull water from the bottom of the roots versus if I was watering it from the top. So that's kind of how I do that. And for light, it does like bright, moderate light. This has been directly in a southeast window, and I think it could actually do a little bit better with a little bit less direct light and more of just a moderate bright light. Or a grow light would be fine too. You know, I think that's also a little bit why it's yellowed a bit. It doesn't need humidity, but it does fine with humid climate or whatnot. And in terms of the soil, I have here just a standard cactus succulent soil, which I've added in perlite for extra drainage. But also I have heard that this would do good with a peat-based soil, and you could add perlite with that as well. So it's a fast-growing plant, and it's a very easy to care for plant because it can go a long time without watering. So if you forget, it's a very forgiving plant. And yeah, I mean, it's neat that I haven't watered this guy in a really long time, and I'm still seeing some new growth at certain points. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this? I would only fertilize maybe in the spring and summer. I wouldn't really do that in the winter. And I haven't really had any problems with any like pests or anything on this guy, so no mealybugs or anything like that. So again, a really great plant. And it also, fun tip fact, is that it helps clean and purify the air as well, so that's nice to have. So I think that's about it. I can show you the soil. So you know, some good brands, like I have a Hoffman organic cactus and succulent soil mix. Espoma is another good brand, and then I just have it mixed with some standard perlite, which is just the Miracle Grow brand. And that just helps again with the drainage and the aeration. So without further ado, I'm going to repot this. And I've already put in the terracotta. I've already started. I put in some of my soil from my bigger bowl here. Just take off the covering. And this is very bone dry. You shouldn't really let your plants get this dry, but I did. So I'm gonna just take some of the soil off the top a little bit, just break it up. I have a garbage bag down here to collect some of the dirt. The roots, I don't know if you can see, are all pretty thick here. I'll see if I can loosen that up a bit. I don't really want to break the roots, so I'm just doing this kind of very gently. And I'm definitely not an expert. I just really enjoy learning about indoor house plants, collecting them, going to plant stores and nurseries, and so I just kind of read up on it and try and just figure out what works for me. Like even the soil and perlite, I just kind of eyeballed it. I didn't like measure exactly or anything. And you just kind of figure it out as you go. Like the watering, when I first got this guy and was watering it from the top, it just wasn't doing well. And maybe I was slightly over watering it. They don't like that. What will happen is the leaves will get mushy. You don't want to get root rot. So I realized that this plant and a lot of plants like to be watered from the bottom. And it's good to keep them in their pot when you put them in a bowl of water to get watered. You don't want to take it out of the pot and put it in the bowl of water, because then all the dirt, you lose the dirt in the water. So just keep doing this a little bit more, and I'll try and loosen up the bottom a little bit. But I want to be kind of gentle here with the roots. Just kind of loosening up the soil, the old soil, taking that off as much as possible. And I think that's pretty good for now. Again, I'm no expert. I just kind of go with it. Alright, so I've loosened it up a lot, and I've already put, like I said, the soil there. So I'm going to kind of position it and see what I think. I think I need to add a little bit more soil because I'd like it to be up a little bit. So I just use a plastic bowl, plastic spoon to mix the soil and perlite, and works out. Makes it pretty convenient. Put a little bit more in there. Let's see. I'm gonna move it over so you can see a little bit better. A lot of times they say kind of you want the plant a little bit in line up there. Alright, so now I'm just going to fill in. Move the bowl a little bit closer. If you are familiar with this plant and have any tips, let me know. Or if there's a plant that you would like to learn a little bit more about, definitely let me know. You can get in touch via the comments or something and let us know. I think where everyone's home a lot right now, due to the pandemic, I think that indoor gardening is a really fun thing to do. Really calming, and you learn a little bit about the plants. So I'm just kind of pushing it down with my spoon and hands and just filling it in. Turning it also helps to do that. Just making sure, pushing down a little bit, making sure it's getting in there snugly. And this hasn't been watered in such a long time, so I'm really looking forward to watering it, and then probably by tomorrow I'll notice that these leaves are really going to look more fuller, and I'm probably going to take it a little bit out of the direct light and put it in more of a moderate light in my windowsill, and then it'll probably start getting a bit more greener too versus the lighter green down here. It'll probably all start getting more green. So that's neat to kind of see how your plants respond to what you do for it, to your care for it. Just turn this a little bit. Needs a little bit more soil on this side. And things can get messy, so garbage bags or a box to work in to collect all the dirt and stuff. That's another good way to do it. All right, I think that's pretty good for now. So I think it looks a lot better than in the pot that it was in. Like I said, it should have been repotted a long time ago. So here we are. We've got our little Peperomia Ferreyrae. It's a happy bean plant. Hold it up. So it has a lot more room to grow. These guys do grow fast, so you probably will have to repot quite frequently. But it's nice that they grow fast. They're easy growers. So I hope you enjoyed this plant video, and if there's any other plants you might want me to highlight, let me know. All right, see you guys later. Bye-bye.